This program are not necessarily those of CNS Channel 6.
Guyana, full of resources. Undoubtedly, the potential breadbasket of the Caribbean, a country where academic excellence, standards, and foreign policy were beyond comparison in this part of the world. Today, unfortunately, the same cannot be said. Disasters are frequent. Corruption is rampant. Workers are dissatisfied. The cost of living and of basic utilities seems beyond the reach of the poor. School children are fighting for better educational facilities and system, while the suffering of the poor continues. However, the leader of the Justice for All party, C.N. Sharma, provides an opportunity for these problems to be highlighted. He traversed this country and will continue to do so to places where no other political leader goes, places where people suffer on a daily basis, places that to other leaders seems not to exist, places where the people's voices are important, a voice crying out for help, a voice that can foster change, the voice of reality, so powerful, the voice of the people.
Just for our program, just for our program.
Yes.
And the voice of people,
The voice of the people. See, and today is the 19th day of March, 2019, and it happens to be the birthday of the junior finance minister, your son,
Yeah.
Paul Sharma. How much does he chalk up today?
I can't remember, I can't remember.
Happy birthday to
people
Paul
don't
Sharma.
people don't want to give the age.
But usually it's women who don't want to give the age.
No, not give the Some men don't want to give the age.
Oh, I see.
Now women, men too, men too.
Men too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we see here they're talking about
yes,
GCOM.
yes.
We had the ERC had been carrying out an investigation of GCOM to see about the hiring, if there was any discrimination. And they said they received no evidence of ethnic preference in GCOM hiring, but the human resource manager did not meet with them, you know. So it has not, it has not been a full
Okay, let me look at it.
yes.
Agenda for 30, agenda for 30.
Well, agenda for today,
Yeah.
we have dual citizenship again. And that seems to be only a problem if you want to go in Parliament, you know. Then there's the noise nuisance, which continues.
Yeah,
Noise
until
nuisance.
now.
Oh, by the way, my sister said she would help. She was the person who typed out this thing.
Yeah.
She worked with that fellow that died.
Who was that?
You mean the manifesto?
Yeah, with the manifesto.
Yeah.
Yes, because he said under the guy who came, who's dead now, who was the first person to speak with the Green Guyana, and then Jack Joe took over
Okay,
you remember the guy?
Yeah, I think so.
We went over there and we had the famous talk before that election.
Go ahead,
Anyhow,
with the agenda for 30.
so we have noise nuisance.
Yeah. It's a big problem, big
Yeah,
problem.
up to now we have it, people opening their cars and then the guys who trade selling music.
And the garbage dump on the roadside.
Yeah.
Garbage dump on the roadside. Right now, I was at garbage dump by right by.
But who did you have your cameras to see who it was?
We can see. Nobody have to pay attention to garbage.
Lawlessness in our society.
Still exists.
Huh?
Still exists.
Still
Still exists.
Well,
Yes.
that's a part of lawlessness.
Yeah, nonsense, yes.
Corruption.
Rampant.
Where we hope that there'll be more conviction.
Corruption rampant.
We
Yeah.
hope there'll be more conviction.
Okay.
Victimization.
Still rampant.
Yes, still rampant.
Yeah.
Rum shops. Rice. I guess Mr. Rahman will give us the latest there on rice.
Yeah, go ahead with it.
Sugar industry.
Yeah. He guess.
In chaos.
Yeah.
Crime. We see. Look at that guy at BV who was just
Yes.
murdered by 3. But I guess they'll be able to identify the guy.
Crime is rampant in the
Crime
this
is
country.
rampant.
In the country. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
But not as bad as in the early 200s
Yeah.
under Jack Dio.
Trinidad is worse. Trinidad is worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Destitute. You still have the destitute in the streets.
Spending.
We have to find a way of
Yeah.
providing homes for them.
Yes, yes.
One home or the other. Cost of living. Some people are claiming that the cost of living is going up. They said the price of the
Cost of living and increase. And increase.
Yeah,
Cost
they-
of living and increase.
they said
And
the-
increase.
the-
And increase.
The Guyana dollars has
Yeah.
become less now.
Yeah, less.
The vandalism of property.
Continue.
Continue.
Yes.
And GCOM elections and no confidence motion, and that is the current thing now The clock is ticking away. Thursday is a holiday.
Yeah, what else? That's
so
right.
everything has to be done by tomorrow.
What do you think about it now? What do you think about it, Jacob, now?
Well, something is wrong. The chairman doesn't speak a word.
What
I mean, the previous chairman, Mr.
Church Valley.
Dr. Suraj Bali,
Yeah.
he was very proactive. But we don't
Put
hear...
up with that. I'm a doctor.
Dr. Church Valley.
Suraj Bali, you read the...
Yeah.
yeah.
Dog doctor.
Doctor. That's it. That's it. You're vexing.
The vet.
But he not accept that.
Why?
No,
He not accept that.
he'll accept the vet.
Vet.
not the
He said
dog.
vet.
Vet is
Dog. He's upset. Dog, not dog.
Yeah.
Dog, not dog. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
the present chairman, like he doesn't, I don't know if he's well. He doesn't say a
So
word.
why you say that? Why you say that?
Because we can't hear a word
How
from
old
him.
is how old is chairman?
He's in the mid-80s, I think.
84,
What?
84, no?
Yeah. So what I'm,
He can become senile. What do you think?
It's possible.
I think President Granger will have to make that announcement
Okay.
in the view of the fact that nothing is coming from that he'll have to announce
They
the
said
date.
Donald Trump senile. He's senile. Donald Trump senile. That Donald Trump is said that for Donald Trump.
Donald Trump senile.
Yeah, waiting.
Maybe he's suffering from Alzheimer, but you don't know that.
That.
Yeah,
That's great.
so what I'm saying is that nothing seems to be coming there, and he needs to make a decision and pass it on to the president. Now the president will have to take charge
Yeah.
and announce a date for the elections, and then we have the Jagdeo will have to call a meeting
Okay, then.
very hurriedly for tomorrow.
Okay, suppose now they have to call the army. What do you got? If they come to a decision.
You can't call them now.
No. You got that. Your time coming. Your time coming up. Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
the Constitution doesn't speak about that.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that
Call for peace.
they're appealing
Yeah,
what
peace.
the Chief Justice has said, where that they may not continue in office. So they can continue in office until the next president is elected. So we have to have continuity. We can't, as I think President Granger said before, he went for treatment. I think he's gone again. And
Again?
He went over the weekend because you had all these guys acting. You had the opening of the mall. This is a big thing. The new.
I saw. I
You were
went.
there?
I went.
Yeah, this is the opening of what was the name of the place?
I went.
The place with the
Cinema.
yes.
Oh, the movie.
The movie
Theater.
Movie, something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, Mr. Chin opened it.
Mr.
And
Chin.
I saw the former president in the corner with his wife.
Okay.
Ramutar was.
Oh yes, Ramadan
was there.
Ramadan was there.
But they were calling the opposition leader, but I don't think I saw Jagdeo there.
Jagdeo was there. Jagdeo was there. I said Jagdeo was there.
Okay, you were supposed to be
I
there.
saw Jagdeo was there. Yeah.
Yes, and you had the ministers give a talk. You
Yeah,
had the three government ministers spoke, and one of them was reminiscing on movie time. That's the name of it.
Yeah.
Movie
Movie
time.
time.
And one of the ministers, Gaskin, was saying that his reminiscence went back to lines and so on. But I think that the better part of it is when the drifters spoke Saturday night at the movies,
Yeah.
when you're sitting in the back
Yeah,
seat,
yeah.
you know, with your paramour,
Uh-huh.
you know. I think that would be a more pleasant,
okay.
a pleasant experience, rather than
Yeah,
speak of the negative things where you got to line up in line. you
It's
know.
not. It was a fact that they had lined up in the cinema.
Right, but besides that, you are drive-in.
Drive-in.
Drive-in, people are hardly watching the movies when they go to the drive-in. You know.
Well, after the driving thing.
What time?
Yeah, so the drive-in was
Yeah.
very nice. I remember Laurie Lewis used to be there on a Sunday afternoon
right,
yes,
that's right,
at the drive-in cinema. Yes.
Rahman, you're nice. Let me
Yes, well,
waiting
let me say.
waiting for them.
Let me
Chairman.
Let me say this.
Yeah.
You came in for big praise
Oh.
for the rice farmers
Yeah.
and Essequibo
Yes.
because they're having a lot of problems there now. That's where I went when I didn't come last Saturday. They're having a lot of problems and nobody's paying attention.
The rice farmers.
The rice farmers.
Okay.
You know the gentleman who died? He died hours after he was speaking on behalf of the rice farmers, former PPP Member of Parliament, Mr. Ishaq Bashir.
And it's actually, yes,
You know
I know,
him,
I know him well.
Well, his son wants to come on Saturday to say something.
Oh, no problem, no problem, no
So
problem.
I
with
told him I'll speak to you.
that. Yeah, no problem with that. With
So
that.
this man is a Jaganite, a real Jaganite.
Yeah, John, that's true, that's true.
And I went, they invited me to
Yeah.
speak there. Jagdeo couldn't go there. In fact,
Oh, why Jagdeo couldn't go?
didn't go to the funeral
Okay.
because since then he knew that Jagdeo was betraying the policies of the Jaganites.
Okay.
Or Dragon. That's the problem. So your name came in for praise.
What kind of
And
praise?
they want you
Good
to
praise?
they want you to come back to do some filming to see the state of the rice
I don't have
industry.
any problem, no problem with that. When you can arrange a meeting together for me to
I will arrange
which
it.
rice farmers?
I will arrange it and you'll come.
Yeah.
I'll arrange it, you'll
Send
come.
in here, send in the today.
Yes.
When we come, we're gonna arrange.
Well, some of them listen to the program,
Yeah,
but
yes.
some of them have problems
With what?
hearing hearing this program.
Yes, that is true.
Because the antenna problem. I told you last
Yeah.
week about this, you know. So we need to be able to, you see, this government unfortunately has neglected the farming community.
Okay.
And and I'm sorry to have to say this, Mr. Sharma,
Yeah.
but at a time when we're in a crisis situation, you still have incompetent people managing areas of vitality. The agriculture is supposed to be the top on the agenda
Yeah.
for this country. I have the budget here,
Yeah.
the 2019 budget,
Yeah.
and you have all the allocations of the different
Let me
ministries.
just remember.
But what is
Yeah,
happening
yes,
is
yeah.
what is happening
Yeah.
is that the work is not being done. The work is not being done.
Who is this?
It looks like you.
Look at Joey.
It looks like you, but I don't know. Maybe Mr. Sankej will probably tell. It looks like you.
Okay.
No,
So
no.
if it's you,
They're Joey.
if
No,
it's
no,
you,
neither.
you are in the center of the budget.
No, no, neither,
Yeah.
neither.
It's not him.
Yeah.
I know the
Right.
face, but it's not either.
Okay.
So we really need to give some highlight to the rice farmers.
Okay.
Listen, we cannot re-elect an incompetent Minister of Agriculture. This is a problem we have. The AFC gave us somebody who was totally incompetent, and I think the president his hands are tied, but I think that coming closer to the elections, he's got to reshuffle the cabinet
Yeah.
and get rid of the dead weight that he's got at the moment, or you can't move forward.
But you're not so well. How you look like a dead with it? You're not well. President well, so good.
Well, they're giving him more headache. If he got to get rid of them, and then he might.
How you get rid
He
of
might
it?
revive.
But the AFC might not have somebody of the same quality. If
Yeah,
they're giving
that's-
them the same amount of
Yeah,
seats,
yeah.
they might not be able to nominate another person
The
of any.
AFC would be drastically reduced.
Okay.
They get less than 2 seats.
What?
That's the reality. They'll get less
Why you say
than
that?
two seats.
Tell me where you get that figure
Because
from.
they don't have any support among the people. What does Mr. You look? You can. I have said it many times. Some people are annoyed me when I say it, but it's the truth. What does Mr. Nagamoto done as Prime Minister?
What is that? What do
He
you
was minister.
Where is Nagamoto? Where is he with Nagamoto now?
You know what his responsibility?
What is Nagamoto? What now? Where is Nagamoto now?
I don't know. You don't talk, and I don't.
Okay, okay.
But he must be out in the country because he had all these guys
Yeah,
acting.
acting. Sure actor we got.
So we have.
Arts act, plenty actor. Arts actor
You
acting.
mean they're acting to become what?
Become what? Become Prime Minister President.
Acting.
Acting.
You have a lot of actors.
Plenty actors.
Plenty actors. So no action.
No action. You're not.
No action.
Okay, good.
I heard that your tax went up extraordinarily. Is that true?
Yes.
How is that?
I don't know that. They got here who is responsible for his management.
But a lot of people have not been paying tax.
Only me, I pay tax, I tax me pay. But we get paid tax. The tax, because they know me. I'm a popular man, because they know me very good.
But according to the budget, 83,000 people have not
Yeah,
been
yeah.
paying tax. 83, that's a lot of people, isn't it? Tax evaders.
More than half the population.
Perhaps those people who are also have to face the Integrity Commission, they have not declared their assets as well.
Yes, the parliamentarians have not also done so. You see, you can't have law and order in the country.
You pay tax?
when they-
You pay tax?
Yes, I can show you
Let me
here.
see,
I
let me see.
can show you my tax ticket,
Okay, let me see.
if I can find it.
You can't find, yes. Okay.
My tax is
Yeah.
what is called
Yeah.
PAYE.
Okay.
pay as you earn. So I don't have no control over
Okay.
it. When it comes to me, it's already taken out. You follow what I mean?
I think if you earn less than 700 and something thousand
And
a year, you don't pay.
Don't be, now, we got to be serious as rice farmers. Operator, please come. Bring up the rice farmers then.
Look.
Bring what you rice farmers.
You know we have said it many times. Let's have a look at the
Yeah,
manifesto.
yeah.
You said it many times here on this program. And the government is now shifting on the matter.
Yeah.
And when we criticize them, they're upset.
Yeah.
Look,
Mr. Houston
we
prepared
have-
that manifesto, you know. That's the name of the guy I was trying to
Yeah,
remember.
yes.
Houston.
Look, we said on this program many times,
Yeah.
it's in the manifesto of this government. You have got to reorganize and set up the Agricultural Industrial Bank, where farmers can borrow
Operator,
money
take
at
your time,
4
take your
and
time, take your time.
5%
Take your
interest,
time.
not more than that. You cannot have...
You see the trouble with
When you bring rice
with the
farmers, let
Minister
me,
of Finance.
when you bring a
He's
rice.
following
Look
the
at the rice
dictates
farmers.
of the...
Okay, let the rice farmers, this is rice farmers. That you,
Yeah.
did you grant your time? Reggie was not the president at that time.
No.
Reggie was not the president
No,
during that
this
time.
is Jagdeo time.
Yeah, Jagdev time.
But you see what
Yeah,
happened? We've
yeah.
been following the dictates of the IMF with all this taxation and all this...
Operator, cut off a little bit, let's touch of it, let's touch of it, let's touch of it.
And they still continue, and
finance
they
minister
have-
who used to be
that
Jagdeo
room.
minister in the office is now the finance minister. He's a creature of the IMF and World Bank.
Yeah.
What would you do? If you know the history of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank,
Yeah.
is that they have stringent policies that affect the ordinary people.
They don't help the poor people.
They
at all.
don't help the poor people. And this is, when you're talking about the cost of living going up,
Yeah.
they don't take that into consideration. They don't take that into consideration. That's the problem you have. You have a policy, you have a situation where
Operator, bring some song for, please, bring
The
that song for.
Minister of
Song,
Finance.
song.
Now, almost
Minister
8
of
Finance.
tons of cane, that's what the
Son,
workers
son,
saying,
son.
spoiling the field right now because of negligence of the manager at Diamond Sugar Estate. Now, who suffer? The guys who suffer, the sugar workers suffer, and we can't make money. And the workers' children also suffer. Their wives suffer. The children cannot get milk to drink. So you can see the carelessness of the manager, the negligence, they are incompetent. If I was the head, I'd fire the whole pack of them. You're telling me spare parts for such an estate must be there. They have money. It's not where they have to borrow money. They have all the money and they can't give accountability how the money is spent. What if I jail all the accountants that got there? Come on, find out. There was corruption there years ago in Gaisuku. Somebody hiding something. What is happening in Gaisuku? These sugar workers are not jokers, but what some people might see in Sharma is a joker. You want to tell me all those sugar workers complain to me they were a joker? They should look at the interests of the sugar workers. Look at the problem with the rice industry. Now look, the rice industry collapsed, the sugar industry collapsed, the bauxite company collapsed, the GPL collapsed, and the water authority also collapsed. Now,
exchange, it's a staple diet. You get employment from people. You got apart from the 40,000 rice farmers and so on who are employed directly
Yes,
or
got it.
indirectly in the rice industry.
Yes.
You have so many other people who are employed by the rice industry, but yet we
But
don't have.
gold
a
also
government.
provides
The
some
president is
foreign
saying
exchange.
the president is saying that the rice industry is a private thing. It's a private matter. It is a private matter when it comes for them to cultivate it. But when it comes to sell it, it doesn't become a private matter because it's regulated by the Rice Development Board, which has a totally incompetent person as the chairman. That man who they have as the chairman of the Rice Development Board was a man that Mr. Hoyt sacked when he was managing director for the Rice Marketing Board. And Mr. Holder knowingly put that man there because I told him when he became minister and I met and he was telling me who he was going to put on the board. And he asked me if I want to be on the board. I said, that's not a question. You should ask me, Mr. Holder. I am a rice farmer. My parents are rice farmers. All my relatives are rice farmers. We do plant rice. So asking me whether I should want to be on the board, no, you should have put me as chairman of the board, not Mr. Husti. Mr. Husti doesn't know anything about rice. And he was there, Mr. Hodge sacked him because he engaged in a lot of things which I don't want to talk about on the television. And that is the situation you have. That's why we have a crisis. Look,
Yeah.
do you know about the Panama crisis that they had? A scandal. I had to report to the Commissioner of Police to investigate it. I wrote again to Suko Head, and he told me that the matter, they have investigated it, their report is now in the office of the DPP. Several months now, and we don't know what is the outcome of it. Has anybody been charged? Has anybody been put on trial? There's nothing.
Yes.
So the rice farmers are at a very serious point where attention is not being paid to them.
Yeah.
We don't have duty-free weedicide, duty-free insecticide, duty-free fuel, duty-free parts.
Can't you have
You
a
cannot
delegation
operate.
approach the Minister of Finance or something?
And
Right now,
listen to me.
I mean, by tomorrow.
They have the manifesto of the government, manifesto. And the Minister of Finance, who came from nowhere, because he didn't campaign during the last election, is now the Minister of Finance. I spoke to Mr. Jaipal Sharma here publicly on television about the fact that the Minister of Finance promised us more than a year ago, more than 3 years ago, that he's going to consider the idea of setting up the Agricultural Industrial Bank. He said he has to do a feasibility study. Look, Mr. Sankis, you don't take 3.5 years to do a feasibility study. The feasibility study has been done. I don't know what he's
So basically,
about
you want to know
race.
the pros and the cons.
Why do you have to do that?
A cost-benefit analysis.
Why do you have to do that? No, but you are doing a feasibility study at something that is being proven to be workable. So why do you have to do a feasibility study? It's throwing dust in people's eyes. That's what the Minister of Finance is doing. And he's not coming forward. He talks about transparency, you know. I heard him many times talking about transparency. Where is the transparency? I want on this public television for him to give us that report. We want to see the feasibility study that was done about the re-establishment of the Agricultural Industrial Bank. Mr. Burnham set up the Agricultural Industrial Bank, and it was functioning properly. You ask the people, do research, and ask the people who were working there. Ask the people who benefited from it. Thousands of farmers all over this country benefited from the Agricultural Industrial Bank. The Minister of Business allocated $100 million, which was supposed to be allocated to farmers and other people who were doing small business. What is $100,000? What is $100 million? Sorry, $100 million. When if you're giving it out to $5 million or $2 million each to people, it's like a drop in the ocean. You have to give people small loans, and you have to give people loans that they can repay, and the system is set up already to do that. What is lacking is the injection of funds in the rice industry. You go to any one of these commercial banks, and by the way, the commercial banks together, they hold $300 billion they have in their accounts, all the commercial banks, but they're not lending a penny for the investment of agriculture. So how are you going to develop agriculture? How are you going to, the president talks, and I agree with him, about agro-industry. But if you are going to set up agro-industry, you have to be able to have loans so that people have to buy machinery.
People have to submit business plans and so on too, so it has to be something. You don't go and lend people money unless you think they're going to get a fair return, else you'll be throwing away your
Mr. Sankis, look, those of us who have lived abroad and have had dealings with banks, the banks help you because they want you to borrow their money. They have a section, what they call a business section, and you go there and they help you to prepare your business plan. They ask you questions and so on because they want you to succeed. these banks here are a bunch of parasites. They do not want to help anybody in agriculture. They do not help young people who want to pursue any initiative that they may have. So how are you going to have young people engage in employment, self-employment, when they have no finance?
Yeah. But let's go to
that's
this
the
other
problem.
issue. I see there's some disturbing news coming from Brazil, where they said they've been encroaching on the Amazonians' land, chasing them out, and cutting down forests, going after gold and so on. The new administration, the new president has come under fire in Brazil. But we have to look how well we're treating our Armenian brothers and sisters compared with what is happening in Brazil. We have respect for them, for their sacred lands and so on. And but there have been serious complaints.
Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, there have been serious complaints coming in
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
media
Okay.
about the new president in Brazil. Yeah.
The Americans are well treated in
Let me
Brazil.
try to get
Yeah, yeah.
Hello, Claudia here. Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes.
I think the ministers would not be there today, but I will wish him a happy birthday.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
However, there are some things. Mr. Sankey, you said that the minister, you don't know where he come, Minister of Finance, where he come from.
Yeah.
He was
Where-
always in the Ministry of Finance.
No, I didn't say that.
If you actually look back the video, that's what you
No,
said.
no,
I'm
no.
just
I know,
actually highlighting
Mr.
the
Jordan.
reason.
Mr. Jordan has been here for
However-
donkey years, man. What's wrong with you?
No, listen back to the video. When you
All
actually
right,
watch
carry
it back,
on,
you don't
man.
see it.
Carry on.
I ain't come for confrontation with you.
Slight mistake, man. Slight mistake. Sorry about that.
Brother,
Yeah.
I want to talk about the boat that's coming from Port Kaituma.
Okay.
Right? That boat is packed right now with Venezuelan coming
Yeah,
to Georgetown.
yeah.
It's in the news.
Yeah.
That's one news. The other part about it, the magistrate court or the high court just showed the case about GRDB and GBTI Bank again
Okay.
from Saru. Why we carrying cases to court and we continue getting our matters being taken out? What is it happening with this magistrate or the judicial service? What is really happening to it? Many things are going out, and instead of got the story finished, they are being thrown out. It's continued
Okay.
over and over and over. I don't want to hear about case thrown out that went to court. I
Okay.
want to see a judgment on a matter
Okay.
and make it final and
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
I continue seeing trash in this
Okay.
news for the longest while.
Thank
However,
you. Thank you very much.
y'all doing a good job. Y'all still getting.
Man, we trying hard. We trying hard.
Let's see what's tomorrow next.
Yeah, thanks very much. Hello? I'm going to check the rice farmers. Please come with it. Oh, yeah, that is it. Please open the valve, please. Open the valve. This rice farm.
It will be read today.
Yeah, hold on.
And today is when the rice farmer of Essequibo Region 2,
Let them.
the members of the
Open.
Essequibo Rice Farmer Party Association
Open.
is launching the first protest
Yeah.
since the organization was incorporated
Hold on.
by themselves and not by the official body,
Yeah.
because the official body
Yeah,
is
yeah,
yet
the rice
to
farmers.
indicate that the
That's what-
body
that's what
it will be
public-
recognized. Well, they're out here in their numbers all the way from Region 2 Essequibo at a very high cost in terms of monetary money and also sacrifice. They had to leave the children,
Let
the
me
husband,
continue.
some of them leave the wife
Let me-
behind to come out here
let me
today
continue.
to protest. Why they're protesting? They're protesting for a better party price. That's supposed to be guaranteed since the 2013 Venezuela oil barter arrangement was signed. This party price of 4,000 Guyana dollars per bag for a bag of paddy was guaranteed since 2013 when the agreement was signed up to May. And today, the rice farmers have not yet received full payment for the last crop of 2013, and now they're being told for the 2014 crop they will be paid 3,000 Guyana dollars per bag. They're saying this can't compensate them even for the cost, so they can't make a profit, they can't break even, and they will not see any profit, and it will be very hard for them. Most of them will go under because they can't pay the banks, they can't pay the loan, and the Rice Factory Act and the implementation enforcement by the relevant authority, GRDB, GRPA, and the government as an oversight body is not working properly. Recently, I think last Thursday, the Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Leslie Ramsamy, and his junior minister, Ali Bash, who's also the geographical MP for Region 2, visited unofficially, as I understand, the rice farmer of Essequibo, and it was not very nice reception that the minister received. So we're going to hear from the chairman himself here, and we have the vice chairman also of the Essequibo Rice Paddy Farmers Association, who will say exactly to this nation why they're out here today on the 24th of March 2014 budget day, protesting for a better paddy price. Sir?
Okay, thank you, Mr. MP, Mr. Sharma. Well, as chairman for the Essequibo Paddy Farmers Association, we are very concerned what is happening in the rice sector to date. During last week, the minister visited us in Essequibo, and what he told us is nothing of substance. He has not answered our questions, the questions that were asked to him. He did not even answer one of the questions. We were told by him that they have plans to put in place for 2020, right, for the rice sector. Now this is 2014, and you're telling us about 2020. By then, most of us might pass away by 2020. Yeah, because it shows clearly that the minister and his colleagues do not have any interest at heart, with the rice farmers. The various sectors have been subsidized by this administration. We are saying sugar is a failure at this juncture. Why can't the rice farmer be subsidized?
Rice farmers. I just long time. How many years you said? How many years?
That's 2014.
2014, yes.
Or what Jaipal, Mr. Jaipal,
Yeah.
he wasn't minister then, he was member of parliament.
Member of parliament, that's right.
What he said there continues as we speak today.
Okay.
Under the watch of the AFC minister, Mr. Holder, Mr. Dramtatan, Mr. Trotman, the Prime Minister, Mr. Nagamutu, none of them are going to these areas. They hold responsibility for that particular area of life in this country, agriculture. And the same, and what the minister, Mr. Sharma, is saying there is what happened in 2014 under the Ramatar regime.
Yeah.
The caller who called in just now and said that the matter was dismissed, 6 people who were charged with GBTI, that matter was dismissed today, according to him.
Okay.
Now, you ask the question, what has changed in this country fundamentally?
Yeah.
When hundreds of billions of dollars are being taken away.
Vandalized.
And there isn't an account.
Yeah.
It brings into question the legitimacy of the legal and judicial system when 2 times they have made mistakes. And Mr. Sharma was on the station talking about the fact that we don't have proper prosecutors who can bring these people to justice. You had a chaotic situation with Suko investigators where one of them was so incapable, couldn't even say what qualifications she had. Who's responsible?
Let me take some call. Hello, call you. Annie, please.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Sharma.
Good afternoon. Yes.
Mr. Rahman, Perfect Harmony.
Yes, sir.
No, right? There's no action in Perfect Harmony concerning any roads. I spoke of this thing but 2 years ago. You could recall that.
That's true.
The minister was there, promised us that they will do some work. Thousands of contracts.
Hold on. I go to Perfect this week. I'm going to update this week. I'm going to update. I know the problem.
Yes, we got a lot of issues here.
Okay.
Are you going to be there? Are you going to be there?
Are you going to be there?
No work is going on, Mr.
Listen.
See what you can do for us.
All right. Are you going to make yourself available
To be there.
if we come down this week? Are you going to be available Thursday?
Yes, I gave you a call.
Okay, thank you very much.
Another point, Mr. Sharma.
We're going to make too much point, man.
Go on, talk.
Yeah, another point. Concerning Mr. Sankey, the caller just now said that you said that Mr. Jordan came from nowhere. Wasn't you who said that? It was Mr. Rahman. He did not campaign, and that was exactly true.
That's true.
He was not in the campaign, and he appears as a minister.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
secondly,
What he says is
the
true.
caller talked about
Thank you for the correction.
Sarah,
Yeah.
the case with Sarah.
Yeah.
He he must understand that Sarah is an illegal entity.
Sarah?
Right? And these companies have the big liars and they will beat them on the technicalities. Right? When they hire the big time liars, they will tackle the technicalities with Sarah. Sarah is an illegal body right now in Guyana, carrying out whatever they carry out. And they're not legal and they will be challenged in the court and they will lose.
Mix up, man. You mix up.
You're talking about Suko.
Suku.
No, Sarah.
Sarah
The
is not...
GBTI thing.
Oh, the GBTI thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're illegal. That case was tried by Soko. They will stand a better chance.
Thank you very much.
Okay?
Thank you very much.
I'm confused, Mr. Sharma, what you said there.
Corinne, hello.
But at least he was correct in saying that I didn't say what the caller
No, but
said.
I am saying, and I repeat it, I never saw Mr. Winston Jordan on the campaign trail.
No, not campaign trail. No.
I saw Mr. Jaipal Sharma. there.
Campaign trail.
He's now on the campaign.
And
trail.
Now on campaign trail.
Oh, he's now
He
on
was in
campaign
South
trail.
Rumfeld. He was in the papers on the media the other night, speaking about South Rumfeld.
Is it?
He was dressed in his green and so on, and you had Patterson next to him, and I saw it on the TV. So he's on the campaign trail
So
now.
he is now on the campaign. Well, he has been made answerable for all these charges that we're making against him, because he's the finance
Which
minister.
charge? Yeah.
The charges that we're making that
Yeah.
he has not fulfilled the manifesto
yeah,
commitment of this government,
Yeah.
because he is the minister who has not set up the Agriculture and Industrial Bank.
He was now the finance minister.
And
He was on project. He was on project
He used
Budget
that.
budget director.
As a
Yeah.
budget director,
Budget
I
director.
said that.
Yeah, that's right.
I
Yeah.
said that these are truths.
Yeah.
People do not like to hear the truth.
True, that's right.
That is the problem. And this program is called Justice
For all. Yeah.
So anybody who is calling, don't insult me. Talk about the subject matter.
Yeah.
Talk about the truth. That is the truth. We have a Minister of Finance who is uncaring. And the rice farmers understand that. But that does not mean to say they will vote for Bharat Jagdeo.
Okay, Rahman, I'll say that now. And next week I'm going to meet your rice farmers. I'm going to meet your rice farmers.
You are
And you go with me.
you will go with you. Name a day and I'll be there
I can't say next date. Wait, Sunday is a good day?
anytime.
Sunday.
Anytime you
Sunday?
say me and Mr. Sankis will go with you. I'm sure.
Sunday 6,
You will get garland around your neck. If you go,
Put
yes,
my chain around my neck.
that your garland will be right up to your, to your chin.
And you could wear your dhoti.
And you wear dhoti.
On quarter.
Yes.
Okay, I'm pagri.
Yes.
Okay.
And the rice farmers
Yeah.
in Essequibo will welcome you. Right now, they got paddy bag and nobody's
Okay.
looking at
Let
it.
me see. I promise I'll rice farmer. I'll be here on Sunday. Sunday we're going to be there.
Saturday,
Yeah.
a prominent Essequiban will be here
Yeah.
on the program. And
Yeah.
I'm announcing it now because you gave your permission
Yes, you give permission to there.
for him
Yes.
to come.
Yes.
So I'm going to tell him that you have said that you want you to come.
Sunday, where
He
you?
is the son of a very prominent Essequiban,
Yeah.
Mr. Ishaq Bashir.
Then I'm coming.
And when he comes on
Sunday.
Sunday will go
You
down.
get some
Sunday.
calls. Yeah.
Okay, let me get him his card. Card here, card you need here. On here, please.
You're doing a good job, man.
I got it. Thanks very much.
$37,000 with the government promised for the people.
I don't want to have it. We got to have it later. Call you here, call you honey.
What did he say?
Oh,
He's trying to.
Try
Yeah.
confirm things, Not every perfect. Not perfect.
No, Mr. Sharma, the point that he raised there, we didn't promise the rice farmers
No, you promised, we
any
didn't,
$9,000. It was the rice farmers were getting $9,000 during the Jaguar era from 2009 to 2014.
Call you honey. Hello.
Yes, good afternoon,
Good
Mr.
afternoon.
Chairman.
Yes, good afternoon.
I admire you.
Yes.
You done so much for the poor.
Yes.
I mean, I want to advise you one thing, Mr. Chairman.
Yes. What you advise me?
I know you come from a Brahmin family. You're
Yeah.
very high class, man.
Yeah.
Your father's a pandit.
I know my father's a pandit.
Yeah, that's why strong.
Yeah, advice thing, that's right.
You were a pandit too?
I'm pandit too.
Well, here now.
Yes.
I advise you, you see how people treating you.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be more upward in your political career.
Yeah.
And one may advise you, check with your horoscope, check with your planet, and check with a spiritual leader
Yeah.
that's going to guide you into this
Yeah.
phase of the day.
Yeah.
Which spiritual leader?
You see, any pandit, go to a priest and check your date of birth or and see what is going on.
You could go to the mirror.
Why is it that you are in this state? Because I know that you do good.
Yeah.
And you need to be praised. And you need to go up, right up.
Yeah.
And I know you got your son near you, and he can back you up.
Yeah.
See? The party is for everybody. I even see PVP member come on your channel and talk.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So you're not going to raciality. You're not going to.
I'm not a racist. I'm not a racist. Never racist. I never racist. Never racist.
I
Never.
know that. I see that.
Yeah.
And every day when I look at your program, and I admire how you put forward yourself.
Okay.
But
Thank you very much.
something maybe is lack
Yeah.
in the spiritual aspect
yeah.
of your life that you need to go up. Maybe your Ishdevuta or who you're born under, you know how, need to be worshipped.
I would say it makes some sense. Sense. A good, very good sense. Very good sense. Yeah.
What do you think about it?
It took a very good recommendation.
I can help you out.
Okay.
Because
Because you must come on the program.
You're a pandit?
Right? Yes. I look at your program. I can help you out with it.
What is your name?
My name is Hardat.
Okay.
And I can see if there is any blockage in
All
the
right.
way.
When you come talk about
You coming on
here.
Saturday? Coming on
Yes, must
Saturday?
come on Saturday. Come on Saturday.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. Call you, hello. Call you, hello.
Good.
Call you, hello. Hello.
Hi, President. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes.
Mr. Sharma on the panel.
Yes.
Hi, Mr. Sharma.
Yeah.
I want to tell you something.
Yes.
This government here says they don't cater for young people work. The young people must go and sell plantain chip on the road. The government
No. They never say that.
And now
No.
Mr.
They
John-
can't. No. I can't say. They never say that. They never say that. We'll put sell plant chips in the road.
said that.
No, they never say that.
Movie don't give
Man, the
created a lot of
president say
jobs.
that.
No, man. That was dark ranks. That
Rice
is mistake.
and plantain chip.
Oh, man.
No, not true.
No, that's not
now,
true.
Jordan,
That's not true. That's not true. That is not true.
You got call centers, movie tongue offering jobs all the time.
Man, I heard that. the
I'll
president-
hold on. Make
don't-
up on me.
Fake news, fake
Now,
news.
now
Make
Jordan
up.
claiming.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yes.
Now Jordan claiming.
Yes.
The catering work for young people. So the old people now ain't got no job forget because
No. Jordan never said. Jordan never said that. No.
And one more other thing, Mr. Sharma.
Yes.
Last week I went by the Kai Bridge
Yeah.
and I buy 6 crab for 1,000. Now them a sell 4 crab for 1,000.
Crab in the barrel, man. People like crab. One go like that. They like crab.
Oh, like them import this crab now, man, Mr. Sharma.
All right. The guy export now. The guy is export it now. Thank you very much. Call you. Hello.
First he said they weren't giving jobs to young people, then he said the old people.
He like crab in the barrel. He like crab. He don't crab, Crab put people to pull it up. You understand crab in the barrel.
Problem about it. Trumpets come out.
Call you. Hello.
Mr. Sharma,
Yes.
good afternoon to you and your party.
Good afternoon.
I like how you look with your suit.
Yeah.
You dress up very nice.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, I never.
Now listen what I tell you.
Yeah. Yes.
Listen what I tell you.
Yeah.
Because you look nice there.
Yeah.
The absolute government put suit and tie on the PPP.
Yeah.
And make all them look nice.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why the PPP can beat them this election coming.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Call you in here. Hello.
Might be a private call.
Goes on property.
Now let me see private. Let me whatever. Call you in here. Hello. Call you in here.
Moon around till they catch them.
Man, everybody know what not you catch it now. You know how David would do that. Everybody know. Why he make no sense? That make no sense at all. Ramana make any sense.
Anyway,
I mean,
you got a bunch of sense.
call you in here. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes.
Good afternoon, you and
Yeah.
your panel.
Good
Yes.
afternoon.
The finance minister, was he campaigning for the last election?
I can't recall.
No.
No, but this election he is campaigning.
Yes, this particular. And what about the Mr. Holop?
Hold it to. He's
Mr.
right.
Holop,
Yeah,
Mr. Holop, not
He
Holop.
said,
Okay,
hold
okay.
up, he's
Call
missing
him.
Yeah,
hold
Mr.
up.
Holop. Everything Holop.
Okay. You can't call the man false, you man.
The man always dressed up, his hair always looking fancy for his head.
Yes.
Right? So I don't gotta try with these ministers, them man, why you put in government, man. They're doing a wonderful job.
Like what? For instance, like what?
National security.
Call it. Hello? Hello?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Next week going to be 7 crop. Mr. Cotton Rice.
What?
Not just 10.
What?
7 crop.
Private caller.
Yes, crop, yes.
7 crop are on cut.
Yes.
From next week. Since this government.
What cost that? What tell me what cost that?
I tell you, 7 crop
Yes.
are on cut. Since
Yeah.
government take power cutting rice.
Oh,
Like 120 acres.
okay now.
Or we're going to cut 200 acres.
Okay.
And we get a cent more.
Okay.
Why you haven't got a cent?
And they complaining about Jagdeo. How much more money this government ever give anybody for the 3 years and a half going on before?
They must give
How much-
people money.
What let me run? Respond. Let me respond.
Look, they have to be fair.
Yeah.
We got in 2009 through the Guyana-Venezuela Friendship Society a contract that yielded $9,000 per bag.
Yeah, that's right.
Since 2009.
I can remember the curriculum. Yes.
The rice farmers have to be honest with themselves. If they continue to support people based on race, they're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah. Why you say
Their
no?
interest. Well, they keep talking, buying this nonsensical propaganda that is spread by Jagdeo and his elements, that this government promised the rice farmers $9,000 a bag. The truth of the matter is that Jagdeo got $9,000 a bag when he signed the contract with the Venezuelan president, now deceased, Hugo Chavez. The truth is, he did not give the rice farmers the $9,000 a bag. He gave them $3,000 a bag.
Okay.
The question is still to be answered by Mr. Jagdeo. Where is the other $6,000? 6 and 3 is how much? Now 9?
Yeah.
He gave them 3, he took 6. What did he do with it? That was why 6 of them were charged and put in front of the court. 2 times, I understand, the matter is dismissed. So
Why do you want
the problem is
why the matter was dismissed?
we don't know the truth yet. We got to find out later on why the case was dismissed. But I can tell you so far that this government is not interested in bringing those who have committed crime against the nation to trial.
Okay.
Because if they did, let me tell you what they would
Yeah.
do. Let me tell you what they do. A serious government
Yeah.
will set up what is called an anti-corruption court, and you get special judges,
Okay.
not from this country,
Which country?
from abroad,
Okay.
from the Commonwealth.
Okay.
Commonwealth.
Okay.
Bring people from retired special judges
Yeah.
from the United Kingdom,
Yeah.
from New Zealand, from Australia, from the Caribbean countries,
Okay.
from South Africa, from India.
And let me take some cards
Yes.
now.
Get those and put
Let
them
me
to
take
set
some
up
cards.
a
What
proper court.
the people have to see. What people
Yes,
have
yes,
to see.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Let it be
Hello,
clear.
Cardi, you're on here, please. Hello? Hello? Can't talk too much nonsense. Go ahead, please. Next. Hello? Hello? Yes.
Can you speak up?
You got to speak up.
Good day, Mr. Sharma.
Yeah.
Yes, speak up, speak up. Put the phone to the mouth.
Good day, Mr. Sharma.
Yes, we're hearing now.
Yes.
Okay, you could activate the program by getting rid of those 2 clowns next to you.
Call here, you're on here. Hello?
So,
Yeah.
how
You have got to
much more money
Yes.
did this government give rice farmer? That's what I asked us.
Ram, go answer the question. Go, Ram, go ahead.
What did you say?
How much money government give rights to our farmers?
No, we have said
Yeah.
we on this program here we've been constructively critical of what the government
Yeah,
has
yeah.
done and what it hasn't
Yeah.
done, and let us say it.
Yeah.
The government has got people who are still in control
Yeah.
of areas of government
Yeah.
that are
Yeah,
totally
yeah,
incompetent
yeah.
who need to be removed.
Yeah.
Listen to me. Let me give you an example of what is happening.
Yeah.
Mr. George Jarvis was sent on leave. He was a permanent secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture. And this is our gripe. He was sent on administrative leave instead of him being further investigated. You know what the Minister of Agriculture did? The Minister of Agriculture put him in charge of funds that came from the IDB, Inter-American Bank, to set up projects on the East Coast, in Buxton and those other areas for farmers. Put him in charge of that fund. You remember, Mr. Green, when I questioned him here, he said that he found that very strange and that he was going to discuss that matter with the officials of government. Nothing came out of it.
Okay.
Mr. Jarvis, this is the level of incompetence you have.
Let me take some more
If
calls.
you have square plugs and wrong holes.
Please take more calls. Call you.
That's what you
Hello, hello.
Mr. Rahman.
Yes.
How many more?
Hello, call you. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Yes, I'm
Mr.
listening.
Charles.
Yes, yes. Go ahead, please.
Chinese people want to know
Yeah.
how much income a day that this country is bringing with tax and the gold field and everything.
We can't do that now, right now.
Hold on, let me
Yeah.
see if we can find.
Yeah,
why-
fine.
why-
Yeah.
Go on,
Yeah.
I'll find
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. What an income. Hello? Hello? Yes.
I'm talking about the government.
Yeah.
Every day this man talking about the government criticizing Granger.
Who?
Why he behaving like that?
Who?
People confuse the Muhammad.
Who's that?
Me.
Muhammad behaving hard on the but talking the government.
You know exactly.
I am not bad talking the government. I'm saying what the government is not doing, which it should be doing. So you must live somewhere on the sky.
You live in a different country.
Look, I support this government on the basis that it will implement certain program and policies, and it didn't.
Yeah.
I'm talking specific about agriculture. In the manifesto of this government, it says there that it will re-establish the Agriculture and Industrial Bank. It will restructure the Rice Board. It will call free and fair election in the Rice
My
Association.
manifesto.
On your manifesto, which is part of the government
yes.
manifesto, it says here under agriculture, it says more importance has been given to this sector. Guyana needs a vibrant agricultural industry which caters not only for local market but also the export market. Low interest loans must be granted to farmers in both traditional and non-traditional crop. That has not been implemented. You joined the coalition on the basis that these manifesto will be implemented.
That's right.
Listen to me. One of the look, we are pro-government. There's no doubt at all. But it doesn't mean to say that we are going to suck up to anybody to defend the nonsense that some of these ministers get into. I asked the question many times, those supporters of the AFC, I asked the question to them, what does Mr. Nagamutu do? What does he do? What does he do? What does Mr. Ramtatan does, except call in a curfew? And Jagdev is right about that. Why do you call a curfew for 2 o'clock in the morning? What nonsense is that? What purpose does it serve? Instead of spending his time getting those police community groups to function, fund them, rather than put acolytes from the AFC to fund them.
Call you.
Let me.
Yes.
Mr. Rahman is taking over your whole program. He's talking too much.
When you talk, Rahman, call and talk. Call and talk.
Another thing, Mr. Sharma.
Yeah.
PPP do not have the numbers. They call him for election, but they do not have the numbers.
Yeah.
The census report publishes the figures of the composition of the population. They don't have the numbers.
Okay.
When they get an election, they will commit suicide, I'm telling you this year.
Probably is true. That is true.
Yes.
That is
Common
true.
suicide, yeah.
PPP. That is true what
Yeah,
he said.
yeah.
I agree with that.
Call you need. Hello.
But that's an AFC man
Yeah,
talking.
yes.
Had it not been for the Justice for All party, that has actually exposed a lot of
wrong things,
happening
Yeah.
in the last
Yeah.
decade and up to today. That look, the media is the fourth, as Mr. Harman quite rightly said, is the fourth estate, meaning it has an important role to play. So what we are doing, we're allowing people to call and to make constructive
Yeah, that's right.
criticisms of what we say and what the government is doing or not doing. But let them not get personal with me.
Call. Hello? Hello?
Good afternoon, Mr. Sham.
Good afternoon, yes.
Yes, I guess you all are doing our task. But you know, Mr. Ram was talking about the Prime Minister, what the Prime Minister is doing. It's work. You cannot blame the Prime Minister or you blame anything. From the time Mr. Rama come, they always criticize the government. Indeed, he criticizes the government, talks so much he wants to be the Minister of Agriculture. Let him be it if he wants. Go and tell them that, well, look, I would like to be the Minister of Agriculture. Every time they come, they talk about the rice minister, the government is doing not Mr. Obola. Go and tell him it's not Mr. Granger, elect Mr. Older. It's this. Yes.
Okay.
Elect him.
Let me ask her a question.
Okay, yes,
Let me ask her a
yes,
question. Because just a woman
Yeah.
calling over and over.
Yes.
Let me ask her a question. Tell us what Mr. Holder has ever done as a Minister of Agriculture. Name one single thing that in agriculture that Mr. Holder has done. Tell us. Tell us.
He can't see, he can't answer.
Tell us. They can answer.
Call. Hello?
Mr. Holder, run it right down.
So he said, Mr.
Run it
Oda.
right down.
Huh?
Right. Run it right down. Run it down.
You run it right down.
Down.
They're
Hello,
right,
call,
they're
call
correct.
in here. Call in here.
Yeah, Mr. Sharma, good afternoon.
Yes.
I agree with that caller that called just now. Mr. Rahman, from the time he gets on the program, he always criticizing the Prime Minister. You know, this thing is not right. Let him go and take over those person's positions. As he know they're not doing anything. It sounds so bad to know that they are ministers or the Prime Minister and he sit down there criticizing those people. That is not right.
Call in here. Very good. Yeah. Hello? Hello? Yes. Hello? Hello?
Good afternoon, Mr. Sharma.
Yes. You talk already. 3 times you don't speak. I can't allow you more time and hear. Call in. Hello? Yeah. Hello?
Good afternoon, Mr. Sharma.
Good afternoon.
I think
You don't talk 2 times already. 2 times.
I think the viewers should not
Yeah.
attack him, Mr. Rahman, because
Yeah.
the fact is that we, the people of the country, put the Prime Minister to work
That's right.
to actually get criticized and actually be soft-skinned. We want to see
Kiskin.
happen.
Yeah.
We want to have value for money. So if Mr. Rahman is actually talking or calling out on ministers, it's for a purpose. It's to let him know that we, the people who put him there, have to work.
Correct.
I am not saying he's not criticizing or not, but he's doing it constructively.
Okay.
However, when last, I'm a part of the government, I'm a part of your party.
Yes.
When last you see Nagamutu on any screen,
No, never.
The rebel-
You do not tell that. They know me. No time.
I'm a part of this government.
No time.
I want to tell you or to let you tell me where last you see Harman, you see Nagamutu,
That's right.
you see Ramjatan.
Ramcharan's come. He's come.
I want to tell them, let us see, like how Sharma would come and
Yeah.
on this program
Yes.
and listen to people bombarding him
Yes.
against the government.
Yeah.
We, the citizens, put them there. They have to give us value for money.
That's right. I agree with you. I agree
They're not
100%.
calling attack Mr. Rahman because
that's
he's
what he says.
calling out people. He has the right to call them out.
Yes.
They have to give accountability.
Okay.
What we changed the government for.
That's right. Talk about your view.
Well, what is happening now?
Yeah.
I think it was last night or the night before he had
Yeah.
the Bishop Edgin on one station, then I said 8 o'clock
Yeah.
on another station.
Next
you,
next.
you'll have to share it. And
Yes.
what is happening? We need to have these ministers coming to explain the government position
Yeah.
right
They're
now
not coming here. They're
on
not coming here.
Channel 6.
Yeah.
We have a junior minister, Mr. Sham, but we need more ministers to come and explain
Yeah.
the government
Yeah.
position here.
They need to hire your station.
Yeah.
They need they ask you to give them 2 hours
2 hours, that's
of
right.
government
Service, yes.
right?
Thank you.
You're given that.
Yeah.
They should use that 2 hours,
Yeah.
the ministers, to come here.
You don't come.
free of charge.
Well, we're not going
But that
to
is
turn
the
up.
question that I'm asking. Look,
Never turn up, never turn up.
those fanatics of the
Yeah,
AFC who called to defend them are the ones that are responsible for the decline in the popularity of this government because they are not making them accountable. They must be made accountable. It's a democratic society. They are receiving taxpayers' money. They must make them, they are servants of
To the nation,
of the
to the
people.
nation.
You and I are sitting here, and Mr. Sankis, we come regularly not to make ourselves accountable because we are not employed as ministers
right,
of the government, but we are giving access to people to constructively discuss what the program and policy of this government is or other governments and are they implemented. And if they're not implemented, they must tell us why.
Imagine, when they like to see Nagamudan and this program, never come in the program, never.
Yes.
Singing
Is he above,
everything.
is he above anybody else?
Yeah.
Why Jaipal Sharma comes to the program?
Yes.
He makes it a point to come to the program.
Okay.
Jaipal Sharma receives complaints from people.
That's right.
He deals with them effectively. People call him all the time. I send people to him, and he resolves their problem. That is how a minister should operate.
Well,
He's humble, he's kind, he's courteous, he's accessible, he's reliable.
Okay. Let me give a Jaipal happy birthday to his birthday. His birthday. His birthday.
Yes, we wish
already. Yeah.
we saw the program before where his birthday was. Before this program started, there was wishes for his happy birthday. We wish him a happy birthday.
And the other thing, Mr. Sharma, we promote youthfulness. Jaipal is a youth, and he is dedicated, he's disciplined, he's orderly. That is the future we want for this country. We want people who are honest, who become ministers. They must know that they're making a sacrifice. They must know that when they are placed in positions, people must question them. People want an answer. If they have not, they're supposed to deliver something, and they have not delivered it, they must explain why. People are reasonable. So that's all we want from them. Look, Mr. Green comes here regularly. He gets a lot of criticism from things that he's done in the past, but he still comes to the program. And he makes himself
available. Carly, you're here. Hello?
Good day, sir.
Yes.
The panel skipper.
Yes.
I hear a lot of people saying good things about Raman and bad things about Raman.
Some people talk about it.
But people don't understand that, that there's a democracy. The world is not like how it was long ago with PPP and Coolie and Black Man thing. This time got done. If they can't look at Raman like Dr. Raman is doing a very great service for them, you know. Because there are not much people like he can take his time at the age and with all what's going on in Guyana, in the past, in the present, and maybe the future, and come there and do the kind of thing he's doing. Because people got to respect that to the highest, because Guyanese in advanced level, spiritual and intellectual level, to me, to understand what Mr. Rahman is doing. Okay, sometimes he might be, you know, like that way we saying and them things, just like
nobody's not perfect. Nobody's not perfect.
Nobody's not perfect. We gotta advance, we gotta graduate, we gotta look at this country, because look, if 50 something years the politicians been destroying me, brother. You know that with your heart. There ain't nothing that I 60 something, I'm going into 70 soon. And I know though. Me want nobody tell me though, make up a story about it. The politicians got to really take a eve right now. They say, but look what they got to be. If it's not something, it's something now. It's voter confidence. Now it's something about the 24th and the 23rd. Mr. Sean, listen to me.
Yes, I'm listening.
No,
yes.
You know what Indian people fight and all kind of thing?
Yes.
Going to help the 24th and the 24th and all that. Man, what were they doing to people, man? They got nothing racial about it. You know what to do. But why the politicians don't come out and say, well, look, call their parts and pray the national part with all parties and all churches, and then people come and reach it.
Very good sensation.
You know what I mean, brother? Let them done this thing we're going on, because me grandchild right now going to die in the same thing. Why talk today? Me grandchild now going to talk the same thing.
Yes.
They is what I'm trying to say, Mr. Sharma.
Thank you very much.
And it's not done.
Yeah, thank you very
You
much.
know, being in the black, people not to stop this nonsense. that they're
Thank you,
getting
thank
on
you,
with.
thank you, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Call you. Hello, 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 hello.
Yep.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Sharma.
Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon to you
Good
and your
afternoon.
party.
Good
Yes,
afternoon.
yes.
Now,
Good afternoon.
I'm calling from Super. I'm concerned and a speedboat problem I have.
Go ahead, please.
I
Yeah.
was grounded for 4 months.
Why you grounded for 4 months? Why?
I go into Puerto Rico overload,
Okay, okay.
and I beg for mercy.
Yeah, okay,
And normally first offender is 2 months. And when
okay.
I beg for mercy, I get 4 months near my son.
What? 4 months
4
what? Jail?
months I get for a man named Michael Tennant. I am on 4 months ground from the 5th of January up to now. My ground hasn't finished as yet.
Okay.
And that is victimization.
Could please come to my station and
Yeah.
yeah.
That is, other people
Come,
they give
come,
them
come
jobs
inside, come inside to
free.
talk to me.
Other people get hold.
Oh, hold on. Please come inside and talk to Saturday morning, talk to after or 12 o'clock. Come into the station. Please come. You and your son. You and your son.
Me and my son.
Yeah, come to me.
Come to the station.
Stay TV station. Not police station. TV station. Not police.
You say you're calling from Supernam?
Sumanam, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you seeing us there?
Yeah.
Oh, you can see us there.
Yeah,
See,
you
I
can see
told-
that,
I
yes.
told you.
Yeah.
Yeah, see the
You're
same
seeing us good.
Yeah.
That's very good. That's very good.
Please come here tomorrow. There's
Saturday.
When to come?
Saturday
Saturday.
Saturday morning, about 12 o'clock.
12, where part I gotta go?
12 o'clock in the afternoon.
Rob Street.
Rob Street. Channel 6
Roger.
building. Channel 6 building. Channel 6, right?
You got the contact number, I could call you before.
Get a contact with that.
Yes, what's going to
2265 2265462. 222
22
65462.
65462.
That's right.
Look, it's on the screen. Have a look at the
You
screen.
want it? What is the screen? On the screen.
It's under the
Is there a number
bottom.
on the screen
Yeah,
there?
on the
Yes,
screen.
at
Yes,
the bottom
yes,
of the
yes.
screen, yes.
Thank you very much. Yes.
All right.
Thanks.
Call in. Hello. Hello.
Oh, they're seeing us in this.
Hello. Yeah, it's a poor scene, man.
Hello,
No,
good
no, repeat talking nonsense.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, yes,
I agree with somebody caller.
yes,
If we paying with tax money and you have a minister there,
yeah,
you need to take his full responsibility. It's not like you complain on the minister.
Yeah.
The minister have a job to do.
Yeah.
The minister have a responsibility for the public. That's why you are there.
yes,
And Mr. Sharma, I just want to highlight this matter.
Yes.
There's a lot of people punishing. Some of these people who are responsible need to go out to villages and see. Look, at the back of Tushin,
yes.
he got a guy get accident.
Okay.
A car knock you down and draggy and all kind of stuff. This guy told me that he foot break 4 place, Mr. Sharma. He can't move.
Wait a man, forget. Where is place? Where the place name?
Tushin.
And Tushin.
Please, come to me, please.
Come on
Yes,
Saturday.
sir.
Come on Saturday morning.
I'm going to try make some contact, Mr. Sharma, and let him come to the TV program.
Yes,
The man
yeah.
that hit him only give him 200,000.
Come
That
to
was
my Saturday at 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock, come here.
Okay.
Come right station.
Yeah, but I just want to highlight it.
Yeah, okay.
The minister needs to go about and see people.
They're
how
not doing that.
This guy need a wheelchair. This guy needs some help. He can't work anywhere. He don't have anybody to support him.
Raman, which chair I give it to
People
people?
are
Oh,
out
you know
to
how
help.
many chair I give it? I give it a lot of wheelchair.
Mr.
To people,
Sharma?
yes, a lot of wheelchair. I give it.
Mr. Sharma?
Yes.
He needs to go to the hospital. He doesn't have money. He missed clinic. Nobody does come around to help
Please
people
come
that
and
need
talk to us
help.
on Saturday, 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock.
I will try make contact with
Good.
him.
Okay.
Forget there.
So we can
Get some help.
talk about the problem you're
People
facing.
need help
Yeah.
around,
Yeah.
and these people who are responsible need to go about and see things not fit in there and not doing nothing.
I agree with
Not
that.
like I back in the government.
I agree
or
with
anybody else.
100%,
I
yeah.
call on people who responsibility to go and take their responsible.
Okay.
That's why they just get all these names.
Okay.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you very
Mr.
much.
Sharma.
Yes. Very serious. People got problems.
People have lots of problems.
People got a lot of problems.
And they're not going on to visit these people. They're not
They
talking
not
to
come at
them.
all.
You know, in England, let me give you an
Yeah.
example. A member of parliament has a monthly,
Broadcast.
no, they have a place where their constituents can come and meet them. So each member of parliament has a responsibility. They have what is called surgery. People come there at certain days and certain times, and it's announced. We can come to the town
But
hall.
why
and
our minister don't come when they want the program? Why the our minister don't come? Why don't come?
Because they don't want to be accountable to anybody.
Okay.
They don't want to be questioned. Because a lot of them, these guys, know they're not doing what they were employed to do. And that is the problem we have. If you employ someone to do a piece of work,
Brother, might bring number closer.
a piece of work,
Right, that's right, yes.
a piece of work to do,
Yes.
wouldn't you check and see whether that person has done the work you asked them to do? What is the difference between somebody that you and I employ to do a piece of work and the job of a minister? In fact, the minister should have more responsibility to ensure that what he or she is employed to do is 10 times better than when you or I employ someone.
Okay.
Because you're dealing here,
Yeah.
we are dealing with our private matters. The minister is dealing with the overall public matters.
Okay.
And they have to have more scrutiny and more attention to what they're doing.
Sorry, hello?
Where do you put the panel, Mr. Sharma?
Yeah. Man, you talk more than one time. 5 times you don't call already.
No, I called it for the first time.
Oh, call, go ahead, please, go ahead.
Yeah, if somebody called just now and said that
Yes.
people supposed to go and check out the people. If somebody get injured or get in an accident,
Yes.
have institutions have to go to. No minister is supposed to go to them. This is not a minister's duty.
Okay.
They have institutions, they have different places in the country, and then you could go and get assistance.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah? Have a good day.
Thank you.
That is true. That
Yeah.
is true what he's saying. That is true.
Yeah.
But we have local councillors also, so the people can go to the local. That's why, look, there are some positive things that the government has done. That is the local government.
Hello? Hello?
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes.
I want you could help me.
Yes.
I live in the east of Benton. Could you say which parliamentarian, is responsible for...
Yeah, very difficult. Very difficult.
You see that?
You see,
Same thing with local government representatives.
Same
Yes.
problem, same thing with the
Yes.
problem. That we just talking about.
What needs to be done? This is what the Prime Minister,
Prime Minister should be doing.
Mr. Nagamutu, was supposed to have done.
Yeah.
That is what is called constitutional reform, where he and Mr. Trotman from the AFC were supposed to actually set up the process for us to have constitutional reform,
Okay.
because the president believes in in democracy, and he believes in getting people's representation. That was why when the APNU was in opposition, as you remember, in 2011,
Yeah.
they passed a bill that bring into being what is called constituency representation. To get the local authority now, you have in each NDC area, Mr. Sharma, you have constituency councillors, so that if you can only become a councillor in that area if you live there.
Okay.
So that people know
That's
that
right.
you, Mr. Sharma,
Live there.
live there, and you are responsible for that demarcated
Yeah, right,
area.
right.
You understand? That is what the gentleman will call. You know why you can't answer him?
Yeah.
You know why you can't give
Yeah,
him an answer?
yeah.
The reasons why you can't give him an answer is because we have a crisis in the whole electoral system, where you have a list system, where the party says who is the person, the area's constituency, and not the people. The people have not got a choice. Let me tell you something. This Charandas fiasco that has caused us this chaos that we are in at the moment has come about because the AFC, the Alliance for Change partner in this government, has not done anything to prevent that crisis we had in Parliament. Because if you had a constitutional reform, it meant that you would have had constituency MPs.
Yes.
And the people would have decided whether Mr. Charandas could have gone to the Parliament
Yeah,
and
that's right,
voted
that's true, yeah.
against his party or not. But we didn't have that. So therefore,
You're there. Hello?
they created that crisis.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Good afternoon. Harmony.
Hello? Hello? He's a crazy man, called the state.
Yeah. He's a good man.
No,
Mr. Sharma, good afternoon.
yes, yes, yes.
I feel that if the Barajagio and Granger should come together, we all
Yeah,
get
that's exactly what I'm saying. Exactly what I'm saying.
Work things out.
Work
You know,
things out, yes.
who wants to be powerful, who wants to say, I the boss to this, you the boss to that.
That's right, giant coalition. That is why, giant coalition. That is a giant coalition. That's the reason why.
Check the coalition, the couple of years, what they had done to this country. NAS people, said there was some ups and downs, but the NAS was increased.
Okay.
Check the NAS that was increased from Barajagio to now within 3 years.
Okay, thank you very much.
That this government did,
Okay.
right, within the 3 years, right? Everybody jumping up and talking, but nobody is looking back at the government before, what they had and what this government has done within 3 years.
Okay. Thank you very much. Call you in. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hey, Mr. Sharma?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead, please.
This guy Rahamo, man, he talks too much.
Yeah. Can't do it, can't do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, see, and I think now
Yeah,
with
yeah.
elections, something decisive has to be on the go. GHK Lal wrote in the papers that the list contains
Still on the program.
list of
Still on the
eligible
program. Next
voters
time,
contains 633,156 names.
Yeah.
And approximately we have 750 citizens.
Yeah.
Something is wrong.
Definitely,
So
definitely
we
wrong.
definitely have to have some kind of check, house-to-house check to make sure.
Registration, yes.
So, what is happening? GCOM has to say they're ready. The president meets with the opposition leader and say, look here, we're fixing a date, July the 1st.
So what the Thursday, not Thursday, what the coming?
And then the opposition leader needs to go into parliament. You have to come to agreement. It's a compromise. I say July the 1st, right? I'm not saying November. I'm not saying end of April. There's a compromise has to be reached, but it has to be done accurately, speedily. This house registration, right? And get it.
Ramo, what happened tomorrow? Waiting happen tomorrow.
Nothing will happen. What are you expecting?
That
to
is
happen?
good.
Listen to me.
Good.
I said on this program, despite the callers who criticize me, this government has been elected to rule and to manage this country for 5 years. Its terms come to an end in August 2020.
Okay.
What Jagdev has been doing is trying to provoke a situation to topple this government. That's what he's doing. It's an illegal act. Look, just for the sake of argument, this matter, when it went back to the Speaker of the House of Parliament, the Speaker said, look, I don't want to make any decision on what had happened. Let the court decide.
They said that, yes.
Right. So everybody agreed that let the matter go to the court, including Mr. Jagdev.
Yeah.
So
that was a parliamentary decision.
So that was a parliamentary decision, Mr. Sharma, for the matter to go to the court. The matter is in the court. On the first hearing, the acting Chief Justice ruled in favor of the no confidence. Right?
Yes.
I don't agree with her. With my limited knowledge of the law, I don't agree with her. I've said many times
Why you
here.
not agree with her?
Because she erred. And my conclusion was supported by the learned, what's his name, Pollard. And a former justice of the Caribbean Court of Appeal, where he said she erred. The matter has been appealed by this government, so there is an appeal. Those people who are trying to force an election, it is not going to resolve the problem of this country. Because what Jagdev is trying to do is trying to create more chaos and confusion. The government has got to be able to manage the country until 2020, August 2020. In the meanwhile, if the president were to agree, I want you to listen carefully, if the president were to agree to to fix a date for the election when the legal process in the court is still going through. And if the Caribbean Court of Appeal, supposing the president say, look, we'll call the election in April, May, just for sake of argument, and the Caribbean Court of Appeal rule and throw out the decision that was made by this court here in Guyana,
Okay.
we have a further crisis because it means that the government will have the legitimacy to continue to rule.
Rahman, let him be judged. Let him member public be judged. You know. Not we you be judged.
Well, you call.
Let him member public be judged.
Let them talk.
Okay, let him be talk. Let be judge. God, hello.
Voice of the people.
Yeah, voice, yes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sharma.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you and the panel.
Yes.
This government is a wonderful job from the time they get it started.
Okay.
There's a lot of permits that you could come from the East Coast now and reach on Mandela without going on Mandela.
Thank you very much.
You know.
Let the member public be the judge. Let the member public be the judge. I'm saying that all the time. Let it tell. Call it, hello?
Hi, good afternoon, Mr.
Let us be to
Rahman.
speak. Yes. Go ahead, please.
Rahman,
Yeah.
go, Mr. Rahman, go. You see, you're a senior politician.
Yeah.
I was listening to the program early on in the program.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people calling him and making all kind of...
All the confusion.
The program is running smooth, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Rahman, you are the only person sitting there to me who is plain spoken and is explaining everything clear.
Yeah.
And, with the election, I think Mr. Jagdio is working. He has a trump card. He has a trump card somewhere. Either he's holding on some cards.
Okay.
You know what I mean, Mr. Sankey? He's holding on some cards. Maybe he's having about 3,500 cards in his hands. So he's calling for the election. So when G comes say, look, we need house registration, Mr. Jagdio doesn't want that because he knows what he's having in his hands. And he told the people in Barbies, he knows he will not be able to open the sugar estate in 1 month.
Oh, my.
But he's not telling the people, look, he had said the oil is coming. And we're going to do this and we're going to do that for you into Barbies. But he tell the people, in 1 month time, I'm going to reopen the sugar estate. It means that he's going to put these Indian people back into sugar. That they must do sugar all the days of their life. Look, I'm having a friend. He said his father worked in the sugar estate.
Yes.
He said when the father took him to work in the estate and took his brothers, he said he made a decision that he will not stay. So then that guy is a big contractor. He said, look, I'm having a list here to employ people. He said, look, when you look at this list, about 1 3/4 of a page is his people. He said, all of them is laborers.
Okay.
He said they did not think about this. He said, look, if I did not think about making this decision to remove from the estate, what would I have been today? He said, look what I am having. So Mr. Jagdio is telling these people, I'm going to put you to court cane for life. Slave. This boy could have...
And the next generation.
Not have read and write. Now, when me and this guy talk, the guy said, Ari, what's wrong with you? I'm not sending my children them there. The man children, they've been to QC. And he could not have read and write.
Okay.
Things has been changing.
Okay.
And these are some of the things Mr. Jagdio have to start preaching good things and not those kind of things.
Okay.
Thank you very much. He's saying that you should make sure
Thank
that
you
your
very
children
much
and your children's children move higher up. You know, they can't be working on a plantation all your life.
That's
and
correct.
the next generation working on a plantation.
He's absolutely correct, Mr. Sharma. Because...
Yeah, calling you. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
So you and your panel.
Yes.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm going to second the caller that just called here.
Okay.
Because I listened to them.
Yes.
Guyana is no longer... Guyana doesn't longer having people that you can fool around.
Yeah.
Even though they are a few.
Yeah.
Jagdio has his own personal agenda on his hands.
Agenda.
Right.
Agenda.
What the Indian people should do is get away from Jagdio with
Yes,
nonsense and don't support Jagdio. Anybody going to tell me that Mr. Granger hasn't done anything for this country? They are lying. I won't call them fools. I will call them let them know that they are lying, and people must be honest with them.
Yeah, yes.
Give the man time to do what he has to do.
Cheers,
And
not
he hasn't even
enough
finished
time.
the
Cheers,
call.
not enough time.
Right?
Yeah.
Why they bomb basing him like that? Anyhow, I know the court going to rule in favor of him, the Caribbean Court of Justice, because these people, all they, as not these people, Jack, they want to break up this country. Right? As guys say, he has a trump card, drop the trump card is choker. He should have thrown choker from the inception, but he got it in his hand. That's all.
Oh, thank you very much. The matter people concerned, right? And now that's my view, it's people's view.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Call you on here.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sham.
Good afternoon, yes. Yes.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Rahman and Mr. Sankey, along with Mr. Sharma. Mr. Rahman, thank you very much for your explanation. As a Guyanese, even though I got a little bit of knowledge of what's going on,
yes,
I respect the way Mr. Rahman has explained.
Yes.
Along with your son,
yes,
Jai Paul. When you're there, I mean, you'll get a little conflict with him.
Yeah, yeah.
And Carlos calling him, but
yeah,
these things do happen.
Yeah.
But people don't understand that.
But a lot of Guyanese yes, yes.
Intelligent enough, they don't read, they don't listen to news to understand what's going on. So they don't have what it takes to use the five senses to understand what is going on.
Yeah.
There's a political issue between with Jagdio. Jagdio is opposition leader, he have to do what he got to do. But we government ministers, their duty is to come out and explain to the people.
But they're not doing that. They're not doing that.
This is what you giving them free time.
Free time, they're not doing that.
Coming on your station, Mr. Sharma, and they're bothering me. There's one of the ministers who's supposed to be on your station right now.
That's right.
Saying something on behalf, face the nation.
Face the nation.
Right. Even if you ask 6 questions, you answer 2, at least you make an effort. But they don't want to face because they feel that they're superior. It is wrong. They don't remember that they win by one seat majority.
One seat majority. One seat.
And you cannot turn your blind eye. You remember now that a lot of people for, a lot of people against.
Okay.
But you never find that the country thinks one way. Because it's human. But all I'm saying to Mr. Rahman, I know that you might get your little issues, but the way you explain things to our population is good that they could understand. But people don't understand this thing. Let me listen and learn and educate our children so that when they go, they hear people talk nonsense, they could say, no, it's not so, it's not so. But if we as parents ignorant about the fact of politics is a dirty game.
Yeah, I know that.
If you're not smart enough to listen and understand, you get caught up. A lot of youths, they don't read, they don't listen to current news. They don't Facebook, they put things doing their own thing. If they hear a person say, hey, that's not believing. Yeah. But if they sit down, listen, Mr. Sharma got a better society. Mr. Rahman, Mr. Sharma, and Mr. Sankey, happy birthday to Mr. Sharma.
Yeah.
To your son.
Jai Sharma.
Yeah, and God continue wishing him best of health and strength.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Sharma, tell you something, one more second.
Yes.
I had a problem, I went to your son's office, and then my problem was solved.
Yes, okay.
And very good.
I'm saying this to you, this is about the only minister within the time you could go and see anything.
Yes.
The rest of the minister, you couldn't see them, they got this, this highfalutin, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Come on for these things, and you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for calling.
Ramaga take skin. Got take skin. Ramaga, Zanga take skin. You got skin. Okay. Not take skin. Got it. Final calendar now. Got it. Time go out. What time now?
Mr. Rahman?
Yeah, right.
Funky?
Yes.
See what the AFC government doing now? They're going out and meet the people them now. They're supposed to do first.
First and the last.
Now they're going to meet the people them.
Now they're doing what do you know? Now they're doing
what they going out?
They're going out and share house lot, their money. Look, the finance minister going to meet the people them.
Yeah.
They're just in the office, they don't want to see somebody. You get the people and you force with them.
That's very good.
And then you find and see now that the PPP that time they was so far so good. They come out from power. Now this government take over. We want to change. But you see for yourself that where is the change.
Yes.
Look at present now. The first oil money will come in this country.
Yes.
$18 million.
Yes.
Has been docked to Parliament.
Okay.
Never, no budget, never go up here. They handle the money first.
Okay.
Now, at present now, you got something with Venezuela now. With 100 and something $billion money now got to pay over to Venezuela company with oil. You know about that?
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Yes.
You know about that, Rahman?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yes.
Let him explain.
And the finance minister say, yeah, the money they save and the money they in a place now which they have a problem over there. But they're going to release it when they got a problem solved.
Yeah, but do you know what that money was about?
Oil.
No. How did it accumulate to that amount? Do you know?
During the PPP time.
No, how did that happen? Shall I explain to you how that happened?
You explain, sir.
Okay, all right. The 2005 Caribbean Agreement that allow us to purchase oil from Venezuela, hundreds of thousands of barrels of oil per day. The Chavez government gave us oil, and we only had to pay 60% upfront, and the 40% were supposed to have been paid 25 years from 2005, 25 years after that 40%. So that money that was kept here by Jack Dividend during their period, they were supposed to spend that money on social amenities so that people at the lowest level of society could benefit.
Rama, how you know all of that?
I know that because I've got the documents I can bring to the next time and
Yes,
show you.
yes.
So what he's talking, what the gentleman is talking about is that 40% that they can't give account for. They cannot give account for, the Jagdeo regime. And that's what needs to be investigated. What did they do with the Petro-Caribbean money? What did they do with it?
Well, we will have to continue. You brought a good point when you said that following on the
Petro-Caribbean?
No. Going back to this crisis there. When the guy, what's the name of the guy who parted no confidence?
Oh, Sharon Das.
When Sharon Das passed it.
Yes.
And then when the speaker, he brought a very important point. I hope the lawyers are taking note. When the speaker got Parliament agree to send it to the judiciary, that is it. We can't talk about it. We have to talk. You have to let the process continue.
The process has to continue.
The process has to continue. So there's no question about the legality of anything, because while we spoke about the Constitution, the Parliament agreed
the matter to go to the court.
Because the Speaker himself said, "Listen, I wash my hands of this. Let the judges decide."
That.
So that is it. That's a very key point made there by Mr. Rahman, and that is the way it has to go.
And you know why the Speaker said that? You know what? The Speaker is a brilliant legal mind. You know why he said that? He said that because he wanted clarity on the matter. So that if this matter arises again, that there's complete clarity and there's no argument. Because who knows, when the election is called, whether any of the political parties that are would be contesting, whether any one of them will have a majority. It is quite unlikely that any one of the political parties will have a majority. You may very well end up in a situation where you will have to have another coalition government. That is how the country has to be. And the Guyanese people are very intelligent because they voted. They didn't vote the last time during the PPP time. They didn't vote them to the point where they got a majority. So they were a minority government, causing the opposition to have the majority. And what has happened now is that we need to have legal clarity so that in the future these things do not occur.
So the delay is justified.
Before we come to the
delay is justified, Mr. Sharma. So when you ask me the question, what is going to happen on the 21st of March, nothing should happen or nothing must happen. The government cannot leave the country ungovernable. It has to govern.
Before I come to the program, we got check the rice farmers them.
Yes.
And then we got what is the place name?
Essequibo Coast.
That's the next place where the cow wants to be there.
The cow?
Cows, spread cows in media.
I don't know what
Not the place where they said some, what the place they call it, the place name.
Parfait
Parfait.
Well, that friend of ours.
So I want to go Parfait this week.
I hope he comes.
I want to go visit people at Parfait.
Okay,
I want to go visit people.
tell him when you want to come.
See, when's it come?
Ask him to call you when he can be available.
When's
If he's listening,
yes,
he must call you. What's your number again?
65462. 2261 training. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I hope you get the number.
Okay.
Let him call you, and I will make arrangements to
Yeah,
call
go
you.
ahead. I want to see everybody in Parfait Harmony.
226-5462.
Right.
2265462.
Yeah.
And 2261839.
Okay.
Let him call you and make an arrangement, and we'll
Arrangement,
go there
yeah,
and with the camera, we'll bring,
yeah.
we show all the footage.
Yeah.
You think
Because
a
we have
last
nothing
call?
to hide.
Yeah.
A last call, or you finish?
Let me conclude. Rama will finally like to see.
Well, I concur with you, what you said. You
Yeah.
wanted to see all the parties come together.
Yeah.
To
I
have
want a
this-
coalition, I want a coalition
You want
government.
a broad-based coalition
Yes,
where where the policies and program will benefit the 90% of the population and not the 10%. So that we can have peace and harmony in the country can develop.
Rahman.
Because this oil that is coming, Mr. Sharma,
Yeah.
must benefit everybody, especially the poor and the oppressed.
Rama, you know that I started different. I got children land up this whole country.
I've
Children
said-
land up this whole country.
Yes.
You know that?
I know that.
Yeah.
I know that.
So I'll give a final legacy.
Well, that was a good suggestion,
yeah.
but better, there can be a reaching out,
Yeah.
of a broad-based
Okay.
coalition government.
Okay.
That was a good suggestion.
Rahman, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Have a nice day. God bless you. Have a nice day.
Okay.
Okay.
Although we hail from different lands, we share one earth and sky and sun. Remember, friends, the world is one. Although we hail from different lands, we share one earth and sky and sun. Remember, friends, the world is one. We want all enmity to cease, for we want peace, we all want peace. We want no hate, we want no strife, since we were born for love and life. Come, let us chant while joining hands. We shall not rest till wars are done. Remember, friends, the world is one. Although we hail from different lands, we share one earth and sky and sun. Remember, friends, the world is one. We have met here to dream and build. We want our dreams to be fulfilled.